What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title that is slowly moving its way towards 1.0. Okay, slowly isn't fair. This developer is once again one of those guys that updates his game with major content patches pretty much weekly. Like every 3 to 7 days, he spits something out, but the version number's getting up to like 0.9 around there, so I'm guessing that they're kind of angling for a 1.0 release at some point. I figured since we hadn't checked the game out in like a year and a half, it was time for us to dive back on in and see how it's changed since the last time we checked it out. If after watching this you wanted to get the adventures for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description where you can check the game out. Then on top of that, you can find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links down there just in case you wanted to give them the old booty bump. But I've been playing for about 2 hours exploring the new systems that have been implemented and all the other stuff that you can do inside of the game. I do have some first impressions about it, but let's go ahead and load that save, get this thing moving, and we will run our mercenary company into the ground or into glory. There is no other option. So welcome to the world map. One thing I actually really appreciate about this game is that the world map looks great. I think the color palette that they've picked and the pixel art, all very charming. If you wanted to figure out where this game exists in the nebulous between War Tales, Battle Brothers, all those other types of games, I would say that this is like a streamlined, simpler version of Battle Brothers, but there's magic classes, which you have to mod those into Battle Brothers if you want them. And so I've got a couple of jobs queued up right now. I actually need to get my ass on the road and start moving back towards a different town. There are different cities in this game. There is trade running, so you can like pick up products from one place, take them to another place. You can become a caravan guard. There's a number of different jobs that you can play around with, and in fact, one area where I find this game excels compared to a lot of its competition, I suppose, is that this game does a really good job with its writing. I found all the little portions that are describing events and stuff that are happening along the road, or there's one right there. Suddenly, 2 villagers are seen sprinting towards you in sheer panic. Their desperate screams cut through the air as they hastily pass you. "Orcs, they're on our heels!" one of the villagers pleads, fear etched across his face. In the distance, the ominous figures of orcs become visible, their brutish forms giving chase with relentless determination. The urgency of the situation is palpable, and the decision to aid the distressed villagers by attacking the orcs head-on or simply avoiding the conflict is set. That's what I mean right there. I find the verbiage, the wordage, and the general prose of the game to be quite well written, which inside the world of indie games is considerably rare. Most indie games writing is pretty ham-fisted, but this place, they seem to know what they're doing when it comes to writing just a short paragraph describing a situation. Let's see if we can help out with the orcs. That'll be our first introduction to combat. Combat in this game is quite simple. I would actually compare it to something like, oh, I don't know, not like, I guess it's the same level of complexity as a game like Vandal Hearts, so like an older school PlayStation strategy RPG. Really, you get movement, you get one attack, and you get one bonus move. The bonus move can be things like throwing something at the enemy or drinking a potion. Really, you're just gonna move and attack a lot in this game, though. I'm gonna move my warrior up since he's first in the initiative track, and we're just gonna have him tank up by blocking. That's gonna reduce all damage he takes by 50%. Hopefully these guys get drawn in. That's the only action that he can play around with right now. I do find the combat to be a little bit overly simple from the last 2 hours that I've played. I think it would be a much more interesting game. So like in your character's attributes, you have HP and you have energy. Energy is your mana bar for all the abilities you have down here that you can utilize, but once again, all these abilities are going to cost you one action. I would recommend getting rid of the one action, so keep the movement and keep the bonus action the way that it is, but instead have your action drain energy, so if you want to, you can burn all your energy in one turn, but it's going to take you forever to get that energy back, so you're going to be useless for a while. Make the game a lot more dynamic. I think it'd make it flow a little bit better. I'm going to move my archer down to here, and we're going to double shot at this guy. We've got 95% accuracy, so both of those should land. We've got him down to about half HP right now, which will work. I'm going to run my rogue up on him real quick. My rogue, going to double stab him. So that's one orc eliminated. I'm trying to take them down fast because they have a numerical advantage at the moment. And in a like one move, one attack game, numerical advantage is essentially everything. I've also got a warlock over here. My warlock can even the score a little bit by summoning skeletal warriors. So that's what I'm going to do right at the beginning just to increase our action economy. I also have a cleric. I actually forgot that I bought this cleric. We have a healer. Very nice. That may actually be considerably helpful. My cleric unfortunately doesn't have a shield yet, but I'll probably buy one when we get to the next town so that I have 2 frontline tanks. You come over here with the skeleton and just kind of hang out and wait and see what the enemy does by blocking. All right, so it looks like they're all going to dogpile on my warrior for right now. That was a huge hit right there. Oof. Okay, so they applied vulnerable to him. You just keep blocking up. You don't really have anything else to do. You're just going to have to hold in that position. They're going to move forward, and they're going to attack him one more time. Let's put another double shot out in that direction. Everybody getting a double shot today. It's a fun night at the bar. Let's move up to the top, and then my skeleton still hasn't taken a turn either. I'll probably move him over to here because he's got an ability called Gang Up that increases his critical rate as long as someone else is flanking a guy that he's attacking. I don't think he got any crits right there, but it was worth the try, and I'm a gambler. I like to live life on the edge. Skeleton, I don't control him because he's a summon, but my wizard should be able to throw out a shadow bolt on that character. That means that my wizard or my warlock is going to drain HP off of that guy every turn, independent of whatever action he takes, which I find to be kind of helpful. You move down here and then heal him. Just make him feel a little bit more better because his boo-boos are looking terrible. Oh, mend wounds is a bonus action? Ooh, okay. I like that. Unfortunately, the cleric's damage leaves something to be desired. But let's move forward, and hopefully he survives another turn. Wow, is he like a better version of Orc than all of the other Orcs? Because he absolutely doo-doo buttoned my skeleton right there. Like, completely destroyed him, folded him. Let's do an AoE right here with my warrior. That'll get some extra damage on these guys. I don't have any potions left, so he is going to get chunked pretty good on this turn. Oh, they went after my cleric. Nice. So one of the things they've added to this game since the last time we played is that all enemy AIs, based on what race they are and also what kind of monster they are, they have different AI profiles. So some of them search for the weakest guy on the field and try to take him down. Some of them are crazy aggressive and they just aggro the first thing that they see. I was looking at the different releases for the game, like the news section, and it seems like there's 6 or 7 different logic profiles that bad guys in this game can have from here on out. Are you stunned or something? Why are you not able... I don't know exactly why he's not able to attack on this turn. It might just be polishing off the remainder of his movement points or something because I didn't close his turn properly. Blast that guy with magic. Yep, that's good. Cleric, put that first scalp on the board. You're the brand new one to the party. You deserve a kill. Let's start stacking some heals on the warrior real quick. And 47 damage. Man, when orcs are hitting, they are hitting. When they're not, they're not. Brutal. Just come down here, and I think we should be able to finish this guy off with auto attacks. Perfect, and that's going to be our first battle taken care of. Our cleric leveled up, which is great, because our cleric is a couple levels behind everybody else in the party. We've got some awful leather shoes over here. This game does have a Diablo-style loot system where different items can have different affixes and stuff like that on them. Sometimes you'll find a weapon that gives you +2 to strength, or it'll give you like +20 HP, and they also come in different qualities going from awful like all the way up to exquisite or something like that. We got gems. Oh, that's nice. That'll be a nice little paycheck we can bring in with us. And 41 coins while we're on our way down the road. Now, unfortunately, we're pretty beat up at this moment, so traveling on further down the road when everybody's as tired as they are may not be the best idea, but I'm going to give it a go until energy levels run out. Whenever your energy runs out, that is directly imported into combat, so our guys are going to basically have no mana whatsoever if they go into the fight without it. We'll stop right here, and we're going to pitch a camp. I do need to manage who's on various jobs. I'll probably put my cleric on cooking. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know what stats benefit us for cooking, and it looks like we also have another slot down here that maybe we can do something with later on that's either unimplemented or I just haven't reached it yet inside the game. I don't know if there's going to be little tools or something that help them out with the jobs, but basically... just like in Battle Brothers, you have gear on, and if you don't repair your gear, you don't have somebody on gear maintenance, it will wear down, and then you've got to pay a blacksmith to fix it, and as it degrades, it provides you with less and less protection until it's just rags. It doesn't do anything at all. So she's going to be fixing all of our weapons and gear. He's going to be telling stories. That's going to increase the relationship between all the different mercenaries. The more they like each other, they get bonuses for fighting alongside each other if they have an established rapport with one another, and they have kind of a history. She's guarding for right now to make sure that we are not going to get attacked by anything in the middle of the night, and she's cooking dinner. Okay, so we'll close that down. Perfect. And it looks like we were not attacked in the night, which is great. I've got a quest over here that I need to resolve. I kind of got moved from this town up in the northwest all the way to the southeast due to a caravan that needed to be escorted that was particularly lucrative, and so I had to leave before I finished off all my quests up here. The party comes across a weathered chest, its surface covered by moss and age, but the brass lock glimmers faintly, as though it's calling out to be opened. There are no markings, no insignias to suggest its origin, just the faintest sense of mystery surrounding it. Klish approaches, kneeling down to inspect it more closely. After the examination, Klish realizes there's something strange about the lock. Unlike the typical metal locks found in ordinary chests, this one seems to hum with a very faint magical energy. The lock's mechanism doesn't resemble anything Klish has seen before. There's no keyhole, only intricate swirling patterns etched into the metal. The chest is unmistakably enchanted, and only a skilled hand will unlock it. Okay, well, I've got Klish. Klish has very, very high agility, and so it's possible that we could give that a go. Let's try it. Klish crouches down, fingers already moving for the tools as they study the lock closely. They take out their picks, eye narrowing in concentration as they begin working on the intricate mechanism. Their hands are steady, but there's a faint hum in the air that seems to resist their efforts. Klish grimaces, realizing that this isn't an ordinary enchanted chest, but one with a particularly strong magical barrier. The lock doesn't yield as easily as expected, and despite their skill and experience, each turn of the pick seems to be met with more resistance. Unfortunately, skipping the rest of the text because it's quite verbose, they got mad and they tried to jerk the lock hella hard and it vanished into thin air, and now the party's mad at him. Kinda is what it is. We had to take a shot at it, dude. It was free treasure. Who just leaves free treasure laying on the side of the road? Like, you find a bag with like 200K inside of it on the side of the freeway. You're just gonna leave it there? Or are you gonna try to be a king for a season and knuckle up, you know what I mean? Like, yes, something really, really bad might happen. You never know what. But also, something really, really good might happen. Nobody ever considers that half. We were unfortunately ambushed by the kobolds that I'm supposed to be hunting over here. So what I think I'll do I can get over to there. Which kobold is that? It's that one. I don't want to get like super aggressive about this. Can I hit from right there? I cannot hit from right there. I'd have to move one more forward. Okay, well that still leaves you enough to retreat, I think. There we go. I couldn't get the text box to go away. One kobold down and then fall back to the party. We'll end that turn right there. They have added more debris and detritus to the map, but I can't help but feel like the map needs more combat mechanics to make it more interesting. So like if you're taking ranged fire and you're on the opposite side of one of these obstructions, you should get like a cover bonus. There should be like little sigils on the ground that amplify the amount of magic damage you do by 25% as long as you're standing on them. Little things to shake things up and make battles more interesting, I suppose. These guys aren't going to be able to close the gap with us, so I think I'm going to do what all military people have done since the dawn of time. I'm going to push left hella hard, wipe these guys out to get them out of my ear. To be honest, for right now, kobolds are not that big of a threat to my party. We're kind of like past kobolds. These quests are all from when I was level 1. And then I did about 1 million quests when I was at the city down to the southeast. And so we've leveled up quite a bit. But if you can get over here, go ahead and fire that right there. There you go, perfect. As far as loot's concerned, it looks like we've got some scribbled drawings that are worth nothing. We've got old metal chains that we can probably break down into crafting materials. This game does have a crafting system where you can manufacture gear. And in fact, I'd like to test it out on camera here today because that's one of the few systems that I have not had a chance to test myself. Let's go get our paycheck from town. I'm going to tell everybody to run so that we move a little bit faster. I'm going to rest when I get to town anyways, so not really that big of a deal if I drain out all of my stamina. There's money for killing orcs, and there's money for the mines. We've got ourselves about 2,400 bucks, which in the confines of this game is a decent chunk of cheddar. We should be able to upgrade some gear around here if we stick with it, but for right now, let's go ahead and rent a room inside of town. We'll begin resting. One thing I would recommend is change the font that's on basically everything in this game. Once the font gets past a certain point size, it starts to blend together and it becomes illegible. This right here is right along the boundary. You can see see the R and the O blending into each other right there? You want to maximize for visibility when it comes to text in your game. If the text gets any smaller and it's also emboldened, it just becomes like this blob. It's happened a few times while I was playing the game where I was like, what the hell does that say? I'd like an alternate font set that you can play around with. Something nice and clean like an Arial or a Helvetica that everything just swaps into when you toggle it inside of the options, because this is on form with the rest of the game aesthetically because it's a pixel art game, so they went for the pixel art text as well. But it's not a font that scales very well in my experience from what I've seen so far. Let's exit there. I'm going to go to the blacksmith, and what we need to do at the blacksmith is I'm going to repair all my gear real fast because that's going to be a primary concern. I'm also going to go to the create stuff menu, and we need to start melting things down. So you find anything that's marked as a trade resource, you can melt it down, basically. And so I am going to melt down just about everything in my inventory that doesn't sell very well, just for raw materials. That way I can give it a try with the crafting. Let's get all of these crafted right here. I would like to be able to process like all 4 at the same time and just have them queue up. We've got a solid 2 or 3 days before our crafting is done, but it'll do. It'll give us stuff to play around with once we get a few more quests done, because that's going to eat up the time. We're going to go in here, we're going to sell off the gems that we got from one of those fights, the gold, the scribbled drawings, the boots. I'm going to hold on to the metal, though, because we're going to need that for crafting. And then I kind of need to go through... Well, the blacksmith doesn't have a crazy well-developed inventory right now, so I may have to go to another city in order to buy the stuff that I want. I'm going to buy the plate gloves, I think, and then I'm going to buy the short sword real fast. And then we'll go on over to our inventory. I'd like to clank out my tank a little bit more. That's a new single that I'm working on, Clank That Tank. I think it's going to be a hit on the radio, dude. It's a real club banger. We'll also swap him into the sword, and then for her, we'll give her the gloves just to give her a little bit more mitigation, because I am planning on having her in the front lines. I don't think they have well, there's some more stuff listed here. I do need another shield, so I'll take an iron shield real fast. They do have a superior mace as well, which will boost up the damage on my cleric. I would say let's buy that real fast, and I think that's going to be the sum total of all of our purchases for right now. So give her the shield, give her the mace, and swap those out, and then I'll sell these 2, and I think we should be good to go for now. The party's looking decently stacked. We've got a couple level ups that we've got to play around with. Leveling up in this game is pretty simple. Every time you level up, you get to increase 2 stats by 1. So in the case of our cleric, everything that has to do with magic, we want to give resolve. I also think she's going to be in the front line a bit more, and so I'm going to give her some HP right now, and we'll finalize that. We also need to go over to the abilities menu. Everybody has a general tree at the moment, so this is shared between every single character. They all have this exact same tree. But every single class has its own individual tree on this side where you get their special abilities that make them stand out compared to all the other classes. Warlocks do all kinds of necromancer stuff. Wizards do all kinds of blasting and blowing things up with magic. Rogues have lots of sneaky stuff like teleports, backstabs, double stabs, things of that nature. Warriors have lots of taunts and defensives. You get the idea. You've played RPGs before. For now, I almost always take quick breaths on everybody because it doubles how fast your characters regenerate energy in combat and out of combat, and I just find it to be really helpful so that you have sustain and you don't gas out after the first 2 turns of spamming abilities at the enemy. As far as special abilities we can get here, it looks like we've got Blessing of Valor. That will increase physical damage by 20% to every ally in range. We've also got Healing Light. Touch an ally and restore their health for 44 healing and remove a debuff. And then we've got a ranged attack right here, Holy Light. It's 50 energy, so it's really expensive, but it does 15 to 16 damage. I think what I'd like to take for right now is, she's got a lighter heal. Let's get her a heavier heal. Just straight off the rip, and then I'll try to grab Blessing of Valor on her next level up, I think. If you don't like your picks, the game does allow you to reset your skill tree. It costs you all your energy, but that's really cheap because it only costs you 20 bucks to stay at the inn and get your energy back. So respecking in this game is very, very cheap as it stands right now. I don't know if it's going to get worse as it goes up the tree, but for right now, respecking my character is no effort whatsoever. Oh, it was Klish that had another ability. You do get 2. Okay. He can take a tier 2 ability, or he can take another tier 1 ability. I like finish them because it's a bonus action that's an automatic critical hit on anybody with 30% health or lower. It's going to be good for finishing off enemies, so I'm going to take that. Then he's got a bunch of other things we can play around with over here. Dodge bonus increased by 10% would be nice. More health would be good. Harder to hit with ranged attack. There's a lot of things in the second tier that I like a little bit better. I'm going to make him dodgy. He's a rogue, and so leaning into dodging feels like a really good play to me. And then for his stuff, I'm going to give him another agility because he uses piercing weapons. He's using daggers, and agility boosts up your piercing damage. From there, I think what I would like him to take is maybe a little more resolve. That way he's got, like, a tad more energy to play around with, possibly. Or I could give him some more crit. Let's go for crit. That actually sounds pretty good. Yeah, that raised his crit chance by 3%, so that's actually a pretty good investment. 5 heads ready to go as well. Her name is self-explanatory if you look at her portrait. Let's add to her resolve because that's magic damage. And then it seems like Warlocks benefit from having a lot of HP too because they have a number of abilities that cost them HP to cast, and so I'd like her to have not only a big mana bank, but also a big health bank just in case. From there, did she get a new ability? She got a new general ability. Okay, I can live with that. With her general ability, I think I'm just going to make her get an extra movement. That seems like, in any kind of tactical RPG, you can never go wrong. If you don't know what to pick, adding another hex that you can move in combat is always a great choice, especially because movement in this game is so fluid. Like, you can move, attack, kill a guy, then use the remainder of your movement to move on to the next guy. It just makes us a lot more tactical and gives us a lot more options, so I'm not going to hesitate about it. The other thing that we should probably do is we should probably pick up a job while we're here, because we've got 2 days to kill while we wait for our crafting order to get done. So let's go to the town hall and we'll see what contracts they have. It looks like they want me to do a cave discovery. It looks like thieves fled into a cave nearby. Okay, I can live with that. It looks like there's an old fort as well. They don't know what's inside of it, and they want us to collect documents from there. I can do that. And then everything else is 2 Skull. I don't know if we're quite ready for 2 Skull yet. I also don't know how well the game represents 2 Skulls as a thing that needs to be taken care of. Either way, let's go search these caves real fast before our energy runs out. As you begin exploring the cave, a faint click echoes throughout, and suddenly a series of sharp spikes spring from the walls. Ye olde wall pungies. Okay, well, Klish can try to help us dodge it. It doesn't really tell us our percentage chance. We did not dodge it in time, unfortunately. Unable to move in time, the party takes damage after failing to avoid the trap. To make the matters even worse, this is not the location they were looking for. Yeah, we got beat up all right there. Let's check this outpost real quick. Inside the ruin, the adventurers find little more than dust and faded banners. Broken furniture and discarded tools litter the ground, but the documents that they seek are nowhere to be found. Okay, well, let's try one of these down here then. Ah, I went through 2 or 3 of them, and I found the one we were looking for. So in a hidden chamber beneath the crumbling ruins of an outpost, you discover a weathered chest sealed with the insignia of the old military order. Inside, carefully preserved despite the passage of time, are war documents they looked for. Nice. Okay, I'll take that. And then we've got a few more caves we got to check. We still got, well, our energy's not great, but a volley of arrows spring from the walls of this cave. We failed to dodge those, too. Apparently, agility is not real reliable here. One thing I would do to sort of salve that is I would actually make it show the dice roll with all the appropriate modifiers right there. Because the tooltip isn't working, it makes it kind of unsatisfying when you get absolutely wrecked by a trap. And so I would definitely recommend let the players see the dice roll and also all the things that are happening whenever you do one of those events. It just makes it feel a little bit more forthright and fair. You can't harvest things off the map, by the way. There's another trap here. Hey, we dodged that one. Nice, dude. So we're 1 for 3 right now. We're picking it back up. As the party steps cautiously into the next chamber, the ground crumbles beneath their feet, revealing a pit lined with jagged spikes. Hey, we dodged that one too! After navigating the labyrinthine caves, the party's torchlight glimmers off something unusual ahead. Nestled on a pedestal of jagged stone, the gemstone radiates with an otherworldly glow, its light refracting in vibrant hues across cavern walls. It hums faintly with energy, and they can feel a sense of triumph wash over them. Okay, yeah, grab that, and then we'll take it back to town and get our paycheck. We've got villagers being attacked by goblins. I'm a nice guy. We're heavily armed. We're kind of doing our thing right now, so I'm going to help out. I can't leave helpless people alone to just get chewed on by greenskins. It wouldn't be fair. It's not the right thing to do. Let's shank him up real quick, and then if I can I execute him? Oh, an attack doesn't come with it? Oh, that's a garbage ability. Never mind. I'm going to respect that. Let's fire off a magic bolt at him. And then Cleric, get up here and get to the bashing. For Tyr, or for Helm, or for whatever god you serve, even if it's Umberly. All right, even if it's Umberly, I give you permission to smash that ass on behalf of Umberly. Let's go for... just soften these dudes up. They're not going to get another turn for a little bit. And so, move over to here and give them the old shiv 'em ups. We might as well take that bonus action just in case somebody's at 30% health when we go in to hit them. But these goblins are definitely beneath us at the moment. 5 damage. That's not worrisome. I'm going to pass a turn over here so that you can quickly heal yourself back up to max and then kill that guy off. Oh, well, I didn't realize there was another goblin. He was blending in, dude. He had his goblin multicam on. What am I supposed to do about that? I have old man eyes. We've got piles of rocks. We've got tribal necklaces, a poor hand axe, cosmetic jewelry. Okay. I do like the amount of, like, trash loot in this game. I like that everything you kill in this game drops some kind of trash loot that you get to throw into your inventory for a little bit of an extra bonus. It does have the effect of making the game a lot less brutal and a lot less riding the line than when you play Battle Brothers. But at the same time, sometimes I don't feel like playing a super intense RPG. Sometimes I just want to mash out and be the hero of the story, you know? So different strokes for different folks. I will accept the reward for both of those jobs. We will rest till morning. Well, we'll rest till noon. But that, I can empathize with that. I can't. Every single day I go to bed and I'm like, yep, I'm going to get up right at 7:30. I'm going to have a productive day. And then I wake up at like 11:45 because I have no willpower and no self-control. It kind of is what it is. And then you got to work late and it's like, ugh. We do have a level up for our cleric, which I'm really happy about. The cleric I want to level faster than just about everybody else. So we'll throw that in right there. Now that they've got 100 HP, I may start putting points into strength so that she hits a little bit harder. And she gets a new ability, which is especially exciting. So with her new ability, since she's going to be fighting on the front line, I'm going to give her Sanctified Core. That's going to make it so she gets 25% bonus healing on any heal that's cast on her. I also have it on my tank over here. Oh, my tank leveled up too. Oh, and he's in tier 2. Very nice. The real conflict here is he has a bonus action that can either boost his... So he can boost his defense by 30% at the cost of 30% attack, or he can boost his attack by 30% at the cost of protection. You know what I have to do. We have to go all in on damage. There's no way around it. And then for him, I would say, do we have anything in here? 25% more health is no slouch for a tank. And so I think I'll probably go with that. Yeah, that's a lot more health bar that he has now. Maybe to help mitigate my poor decisions when it comes to going berserker rage on people. We also got to level up on our archers so we can snap, remove a debilitating effect. We can get massive shot, massive arrow pull using up a lot of energy. It basically does double damage. Okay. Or we can go with dodge if she ever gets run up on. That might be helpful. Pinning might be good though too, although pinning, it's an action and it doesn't deal damage. I mean, it says piercing damage is what's applied, but it might be tactically helpful. I'm going to get pinned down just in case we go up against 1 or 2 big mobs that are really difficult to deal with and have a lot of HP, because that would be helpful for keeping the second mob off the party while I deal with the first mob. For her, pretty simple stuff. We're probably just going to go with agility and luck to boost up her crit, because right now she's got a pathetic amount of crit, and I would like her to have quite a bit more crit if I can manage it. And then finally, for my archer, we need another passive ability. Let's make her harder to hit with ranged attacks, because she's usually in the back anyways. And so if they are going to like throw a javelin at us or maybe try to cast a spell at us, it might help. Going back over to the blacksmith, I don't know if all of our jobs are done just yet, but it looks like some of our orders might be finished off. How many have they completed so far? We got another 16 hours till we're done. Move that all over there, and then if we can forge something, that'd be sick, dude. Let's go for a male coif. It's going to cost us 75 gold in order to craft that in 20 hours. So we'll just kind of add that to the list of things that we're going to be making over here. I do kind of want to try out a 2-skull quest and see how we do with that, but we may want to pick up another person to help before we do that. I've got a level 1 wizard inside of here. I could probably do like a level 1 wizard. Let's go ahead and hire him. Yeah, that'll work. So we've got Deloney right now, which sounds like a type of salami. It'd be like, oh, it's Deloney salami. It sounds like a salami maker to me. I don't know. Roll it up with some provolone or something. Put some of that provolone on it. And then we got to find ourselves a job in here. So as far as our contracts are concerned, we've got to fight against a golem. We've got goblins. We've got smoke. We've got satyrs. Satyrs might be interesting. Proceed with caution. Satyrs are known for trickery and cunning. Huh. Okay, I'm willing to try that out. Yeah, let's see how poorly this goes with the satyrs. I mean, we've got a level 1 with us, but I think I can probably protect him long enough that nothing bad happens. We probably want to bang out just a short rest right here, just to get a little bit of energy back before we go into the fight. And so we'll close that down, and let's see what we got going on over here. They don't look that scary to me. I don't know, they're just like little goat guys with spears. Oh, there's a lot of them, though. Oh, so it's like a numerical game with the satyrs, huh? How agile are they? They can't make it to my front line in one turn, which is a nice blessing. I will accept that. I guess I can move my wizard up to here. Let's see how this ice bolt does. Ice bolt didn't do too bad. I mean, it's 18 damage. It's alright. It's kind of like a melee attack. I'm guessing wizards in this game are kind of like wizards in D&D, though. You got to carry them for a little bit, and then once you carry them for a little while, that's when they start to come into their own. I'm going to let him get glomped on a little bit because he's got that super powerful... Oh, they hit a little harder, though. Okay. Those ones should block off the rest of them from making base contact, so I think we should be alright. Who's up right now? My warlock, eh? We'll put down a Skeletor right there just to create another wall of like a mass of bodies that the enemy can't quite get by. And then I think we're obviously going to want to have the cleric over here. Oh, don't do that. I mean, it's fine. They didn't get an attack of opportunity, but I thought she was going to get an attack of opportunity. I puckered a little bit in preparation for the attack of opportunity. All right. Yeah, I think that went okay because he's going to one-shot his entire row with his AoE. I want to see what kind of AoEs wizards get access to. You know they're about to have some baller firestorm or something they can do. You move over to there. Give them the double Shiva bitch. Perfect. Nice little explosion of blood. Actually, I probably should have went for that one so that his AoE would do more damage per hit. All right, we'll just soften them up from the sides. You continue just churning through these dudes. He is going to need a heal pretty shortly, though. Finish that one off with some magic. And then for you... Can't healing light him from where you're at, but we can throw that out to there. Move up on this side, and... Oh, really? Your block is like a... Oh! You still get to attack. Sorry, I lost track of what I was doing right there. Alright, so bash him in the head. I do wish I could split up this shot between two enemies. It would make for a great crowd clear ability. Peel them off the rogue over there, and then maybe take up like a northern position along their flank. Rogue, do what you do, man. Just double stab it out. Probably finish that one off right there, just so the wizard can brag when he gets back to camp that he got a kill. Perfect. Skeleton killed him off. Couldn't ask for a better outcome. Like, the skeleton, you know, sometimes all he does is soak a hit and die instantly. Sometimes he adds on some extra damage. No matter what he does, it's kind of helpful and I can live with it. So satyrs aren't that bad. We can deal with satyrs. Did we get any, like, better quality gear inside of here? A satyr cloak. I can tear that apart to get some cloth. Okay. Cool. 88, they're actually kind of cash rich as well with the Satyrs. Something to keep in mind, too. Let's head back to town, and then I'll probably try to pick up a merchant escort to take us to a different city. But as it stands right now, I think I've been playing the game for about 2 or 3 hours, and my first impressions about this game are just that it's fine. So this is an open-world mercenary sandbox that actually has a lot of the pieces in the right place. I very much like the pixel art. I think the game has a really good-looking world map. I definitely like the prose of the game. That seems okay to me. It has lots of supplementary systems, too, like crafting, the ability to move trade goods around the map. However, I think the one big place where this game stumbles, maybe two places, there's no main narrative storyline that I've seen so far anywhere to kind of goad you to go further out into the world. You pretty much have to do it all on your own volition, and that means that the world has a very real lack of any type of world building or whatever. There's not a whole lot of theming to this game. It's just you've got nondescript adventurers in a nondescript fantasy world. You're going to go do contracts and stuff like that, and I would very much like to see a lot more world building that kind of puts this landmass and the people that live inside of it into context. Like if you play War Tales or if you play Battle Brothers, both of those games kind of drip with world building. You have a fundamental understanding of the world that you exist inside of, whereas after like 3 hours, I couldn't tell you anything about this world. And then the other thing is just that the game has really bad AI. The fights in this game are kinda uninteresting and not really altogether that strategic because every single enemy in the game just seems to kinda like move, then attack, and maybe they have like a secondary ability, but there's nothing there that's kinda like, so if we take Battle Brothers as an example, in Battle Brothers every single fight is meaningful, so whether you're fighting Nachtzerers, or you're fighting zombies, or if you're fighting zombies with a necromancer, or you're fighting goblins, every single one of those fights has very distinct wrinkles to it and very distinct behaviors that those mobs will undertake that you have to learn, otherwise you're gonna get destroyed. And then occasionally you end up with like, oh, I don't know, zombies with a necromancer in there, which then fundamentally makes you reconsider the way that you want to approach that fight by adding that extra variable to it. You're not gonna find anything like that inside of this game. It is very much like a you go, I go, you smack me, I smack you type of game. And so I do think that the game is going to need a very, very large rewrite of all of its AI to give the different mobs gimmicks and things that they do that are unpredictable and whatnot in order to make the tactical layer of the game a little bit more interesting. But other than that, they've got all the pieces in the right place. They've really just got to kind of do more world building and then make the fights more distinct and less predictable, I suppose. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were checking out The Adventurers. Tomorrow we'll be checking out something else. Thanks for hanging out with me. That's all I got for you.